Tell me if this describes you. When you were in elementary school, you would see all the other kids be able to socialize, and you would watch and wonder how they knew what to do, how they knew how to talk to each other. You both have had basically the same amount of time to figure it out, and you were both just kids brand new to this stuff. And you would watch and observe and reflect, and somehow they just already knew. There is an answer to this, and knowing the answer to this is a big part in actually healing your inner child. As children grow up, they go through what's called the data processing phase, where they go through different phases for learning different things. However, the data processing phase for understanding and learning social interaction and social roles is between 7 and 12 years old. During this time, this phase manifests in one of two different ways for children: the experimenters and the reflective observers. If my description earlier sounds like you, then that means you are likely a reflective observer. You watched other kids interact and then reflected on how they interacted and thought about how they did. To some level, even if you weren't even fully aware that you were doing it, you were considering how social interaction works mechanically. The experimenters, on the other hand, didn't reflect. In fact, they weren't so introspective, but rather they experimented and learned through trial and error. What nobody ever told you is that those kids got rejected in the same ways as you. What made you special is that you were highly sensitive to your emotions, which is a beautiful thing because it likely gave you very much empathy. The other kids, on the other hand, though they were exposed to that kind of rejection, they didn't internalize it the way you did. In fact, they more buried it unconsciously. So they simply took it as a loss and kept experimenting. The superpower introverts have is that at a very young age, that pain of rejection actually turned them inward and made them more self-aware and introspective about themselves. For instance, an extrovert could be more likely to bury something that could surface as frustration later, while you might be more likely to catch it in the moment, analyze it, and deconstruct it before it can get buried. What you have to do now, you have to start combining experimentation with your reflection. You've got to go out and talk to people and apply that which you've reflected on and learn also through experimentation. And then after your social interactions, come back and reflect and then apply. And then come back and reflect and then apply. If you can combine experimentation with your ability to reflect deeply, you can become a social animal who doesn't just navigate social interaction based on how they feel, but actually understands it as it's happening on a deep intellectual level. This is the superpower that you have the potential to have, and you can go out and seek this right now. Forgive your inner child for their confusion, because it is not their fault, because you ultimately took the most intelligent, practical approach for yourself back then. Now it's time to manifest it into something powerful. And remember, you are sensitive to rejection, so self-talk is key. Every single time you enter an interaction, that's a win, whether it went the way you'd hoped or not. Every time you muster up the courage to do it, it's heck yeah, let's go. Because though that sensitivity has helped you, it's time to understand it and become stronger than it so that you can keep on the experimenting. If this video helped you, please let me know by leaving a like on the video and also subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, write your story.